Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. Jayden Daniels' status is once again under the microscope as the Washington Commanders prepare for their Week 3 clash against the Las Vegas Raiders, and the tension surrounding the quarterback position has only intensified. The young signal caller, who has quickly become the heartbeat of this franchise, has been battling a knee sprain he sustained during Washington's heartbreaking Week 2 loss to the Green Bay Packers. Despite his relentless work ethic and competitive spirit, Daniels missed practice on both Wednesday and Thursday, September 18th, leaving fans and analysts alike questioning whether he will be able to take the field this weekend. Head coach Dan Quinn has been cautiously optimistic, but the language he's used signals that the team is proceeding with extreme care, prioritizing long-term health over a short-term return. Daniels' absence from practice isn't a mere footnote. It speaks volumes about the high stakes surrounding the quarterback role in Washington. Quinn has repeatedly emphasized that the team wants to ensure that Daniels can absolutely be himself when he steps onto the field against the Raiders, knowing full well that his dual-threat capabilities are integral to the team's offensive identity. In a league where quarterbacks are under constant pressure to perform through pain, the Commanders' decision to potentially hold him out demonstrates a patient and methodical approach to player health, balancing the urgency of a divisional matchup with the recognition that rushing back a key player could have lasting consequences. It starts off first on the strength, the movements, Quinn explained, breaking down the meticulous process the coaching staff is using to evaluate Daniels' readiness. Then on the field, change direction, the pivoting, the moving, all of those would be the things to go. So, we'll just take it as it goes through the week. But he'd have to see all of the steps along this week to hit those marks. The speed, the stopping, the change of direction, all of it. These words highlight the complexity of evaluating a player like Daniels, whose game is built not just on arm talent, but also on agility, acceleration, and the ability to extend plays outside the pocket. Each practice session becomes a diagnostic test, measuring not just whether he can throw, but whether he can execute his full repertoire of skills safely. For the Commanders, the alternative is a veteran presence in the form of Marcus Mariota, who stands ready to step in as the starting quarterback if Daniels cannot go. Mariota, known for his leadership and experience in high-pressure situations, brings stability to a team in flux. He acknowledges the difficult position Daniels is in, understanding that the young quarterback's instinct is to push through pain, to take the field no matter what. Yet Mariota also emphasizes the importance of restraint, cautioning his teammate against risking long-term health for short-term glory. It comes down to, if you feel like you can do what you normally do, then go ahead, Mariota said, offering both empathy and advice. I've been in situations like this where you try to fight through it, and maybe you're not playing like yourself, and it is hard. You want to be out there for your team and tough it out. We understand Jayden is going to do everything in his power to play. We always tell him, just be you. And if you feel through the course of the week you get back to that point, great. We'll support you to be ready to roll. If you need a week, that's okay. I'll be ready to go too. Mariota's words reveal more than a backup quarterback stepping into the spotlight. They speak to a culture within the Commanders' locker room that values both accountability and empathy. In a league often criticized for its win-at-all-costs mentality, this moment demonstrates a nuanced approach to player management, where experience meets compassion. Mariota's readiness to assume the starting role is backed by solid numbers from his brief playing time in 2024. Across 3 games, he completed an impressive 77.3% of his passes for 364 yards, throwing 4 touchdowns and no interceptions, while adding 92 yards and a rushing touchdown on the ground. These statistics not only reinforce his capability to lead the offense, but also provide the Commanders with a reassuring level of competence should Daniels' knee require more recovery time. As the team prepares to face the Las Vegas Raiders, the timing of this decision is critical. Kickoff is scheduled for 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox, and fans will be watching every practice update, every coach's comment, and every medical report with bated breath. The implications extend beyond one game, influencing playoff aspirations, team morale, and the long-term development of Daniels as a franchise cornerstone. A return this week could electrify the fan base, but a cautious approach might ensure that the team retains its most dynamic player for the battles yet to come. Washington's offense is at a crossroads, balancing the potential spark of Daniels' mobility and playmaking ability with the steadiness and reliability Mariota brings to the field. The strategic decision-making behind this quarterback dilemma highlights how pivotal these moments are in the NFL. A player's physical condition is no longer a simple matter of fit to play or day-to-day. Modern sports science, analytics, and coaching strategy converge to create an environment where every snap, pivot, and sprint is scrutinized. Daniels' knee sprain, though seemingly minor, has thrown the Commanders into a position where patience might be the ultimate weapon. Every fan, commentator, and rival team will be dissecting the timeline, trying to predict whether the young star can return to form in time, while the coaching staff continues to weigh medical advice, practice performance, and the mental readiness of their quarterback. Ultimately, the spotlight isn't just on Jayden Daniels or Marcus Mariota. It's on the philosophy of the Washington Commanders as an organization. How they navigate this scenario could define their season, revealing whether they prioritize immediate wins over sustainable success, or whether they can strike a balance that protects their star while keeping their team competitive. As the week unfolds, every statement from Dan Quinn, every practice observation, and every decision made by the coaching staff will be dissected and debated, not only by fans, but also by those inside the league who understand the ripple effects of quarterback health on team performance. In the end, Sunday's matchup against the Raiders is more than a game. It is a litmus test for the Commanders' resilience, depth, and adaptability. Whether Jayden Daniels steps onto the field, bringing his electrifying running ability and playmaking talent, or Marcus Mariota takes the reins, showcasing veteran poise and efficiency, the narrative surrounding this team will be shaped in real time. Fans will witness not just the performance of individual players, but the culmination of a week-long story of injury, recovery, strategy, and leadership. The outcome of this decision will resonate far beyond the scoreboard, influencing team dynamics, locker room culture, and the trajectory of a young quarterback who has already captured the imagination of Washington fans. As the countdown to kickoff continues, all eyes remain on Jayden Daniels' knee and the Commanders' decision-making process. Will the young quarterback defy the odds and return to his dynamic form in time for the game against Las Vegas? Or will Marcus Mariota's veteran steadiness be called upon to guide the team through a potentially turbulent matchup? The stakes could not be higher, and in the high-pressure world of the NFL, every movement, every decision, and every play will be dissected under the microscope. Fans, analysts, and even casual observers will be watching, knowing that in a league defined by precision, agility, and split-second decision-making, the quarterback position is the ultimate litmus test. And for the Commanders, this weekend will be a defining moment that could shape their season in ways that extend far beyond a single game. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. Ladies and gentlemen, football fans, and rumor chasers, brace yourselves because the NFL world just got shaken to its core. Imagine sitting at home, scrolling through your phone, catching highlights, and suddenly the notifications start blowing up. Devin Lloyd, yes, the linebacker who has been a nightmare for offenses everywhere, is reportedly heading to the Washington Commanders in what insiders are already calling a trade that could redefine the landscape of the league. Now, before we dive headfirst into what this could mean for both Lloyd and the Commanders, let's set the stage. Devin Lloyd is not just another player. He's a force of nature. A guy who reads plays like a book, who hits like a truck, and whose presence on the field can completely change the rhythm of a game. His ability to diagnose runs, drop into coverage, and make high-impact tackles has made him one of the most sought-after linebackers in the NFL since his draft days. And now, the rumor mill is swirling with talk that Washington has decided to pull the trigger in a deal that some sources describe as nothing short of insane. Reports are still coming in, and as is often the case in the early hours of a blockbuster trade, the details are hazy, yet the whispers are impossible to ignore. Word on the street is that the Commanders didn't hold back. They're said to have offered a combination of high draft picks and young talent, a package that signals serious intent. When you start hearing phrases like all in and changing the franchise overnight, you know it's more than just a casual acquisition. Devin Lloyd's arrival could instantly transform Washington's defense, which has been searching for a true game-changer, a leader who can dictate pace and intimidate opponents. And let's be honest, Lloyd is exactly that type of player. He doesn't just play defense, he orchestrates it. He's the kind of guy quarterbacks fear, running backs respect, and receivers hesitate to challenge. The potential impact on the Commanders' locker room is massive. Leadership, energy, and pure talent all rolled into one athlete. But of course, trades like this never happen in a vacuum. There's chatter that the team Lloyd is leaving behind isn't thrilled, but sees value in the haul they're receiving. For a franchise to part ways with a player of Lloyd's caliber, the compensation has to be extraordinary, and from what insiders are saying, this deal fits that description perfectly. It's the kind of trade that fans will debate for years, the kind that dominates highlight reels, podcasts, and sports bars alike. Imagine the conversations. Remember when Lloyd went to Washington? That changed everything. For the Commanders, the implications are huge. Defensive coordinators now have a centerpiece around which they can build schemes, design blitzes, and finally feel like they have a true enforcer in the middle. There's already speculation that this could push the team into playoff contention faster than anyone expected, maybe even altering the entire NFC East dynamic. The division has been in flux, with teams constantly jockeying for supremacy, but adding a player like Lloyd? That's a seismic shift. Now, let's talk style of play because that's where the excitement really skyrockets. Devin Lloyd isn't just a stat-padding linebacker. He's a game-changing presence. His ability to read the quarterback, anticipate routes, and explode into the backfield is the stuff of legend. He's fast, he's intelligent, and he's relentless. Washington's defensive schemes are rumored to be adapting as we speak, potentially moving toward a more aggressive, attack-style defense that could utilize Lloyd's unique skill set. Imagine the energy on game day, the stadium buzzing, the fans knowing that any snap could see Lloyd in the middle, breaking a play, causing chaos, and completely shifting momentum. That's the kind of narrative that sells itself. The ripple effect isn't just on the field. It's in the culture, the mindset, the confidence of every player wearing that burgundy and gold. Lloyd's arrival could energize the locker room in a way that even the biggest hype videos can't capture. Of course, with rumors this explosive, skepticism is natural. Some critics argue that trading significant assets for one player, no matter how talented, is risky. What if injuries hit? What if he doesn't fit perfectly into the scheme? But here's the thing. Lloyd has proven himself at every level. From college standout to NFL disruptor, he has consistently exceeded expectations. The reports from people close to the situation suggest that the Commanders are betting not just on talent, but on leadership, character, and the intangible qualities that make a player truly elite. And that's why this rumor, if it materializes, is creating such a buzz. It's not just about the physicality. It's about the aura, the presence, the mental toughness that can lift an entire team's performance. Fans on social media are already going wild. Hashtags are trending, debates are flaring, and speculation is rampant. Some are dreaming of game-winning tackles and highlight reels. Others are discussing potential salary cap impacts and the domino effect across the league. And honestly, this is exactly the kind of rumor that feeds the narrative of a sport that thrives on drama and intrigue. It's the kind of story that makes people stay glued to their screens, tuning into podcasts, YouTube channels, and late-night sports shows just to catch the latest updates. The Commanders suddenly become a must-watch team, the kind of squad that analysts circle on calendars, the team that everyone anticipates seeing in primetime matchups. Meanwhile, the locker room dynamics are a hot topic. Imagine the conversations between veterans and younger players when Lloyd walks in. Instant credibility, instant respect. The presence of a player who has proven he can dominate at the highest level can elevate everyone around him. Coaches reportedly see Lloyd as more than just a linebacker. He's a motivator, a player who leads by example, someone whose work ethic is contagious. In a sport where mental toughness is as crucial as physical ability, having that kind of player can't be overstated. It's the difference between a good defense and a legendary one. And with the NFC East being as unpredictable as it is, Lloyd could be the missing piece that turns Washington from an underdog into a legitimate threat, capable of toppling perennial favorites and shaking up the playoff picture. The potential trade also opens up endless possibilities for Washington's defensive strategy. Blitz packages, zone coverages, man-to-man schemes. The options suddenly multiply when you have a player with Lloyd's versatility. Analysts are already speculating that coordinators might have to completely rethink their approach to match his speed, agility, and football IQ. And let's not forget the psychological factor. Opposing quarterbacks now have to account for a player who can read their eyes, anticipate routes, and disrupt timing in ways that can completely alter an offensive game plan. Lloyd's arrival isn't just adding talent. It's adding a strategic headache for every team in the league. The league is watching closely, insiders are buzzing, and fans are on the edge of their seats. If this trade goes through, it could be remembered as one of the most impactful moves of the decade, a moment that defines the Commanders' approach to building a competitive team. And the story isn't just about football. It's about ambition, risk-taking, and the hunger to change narratives. Washington is sending a message, loud and clear. They're serious, they're bold, and they're willing to make the moves that matter. Devin Lloyd, if the rumors hold true, is more than just a player. He's a statement. In the end, the beauty of sports is the drama, the anticipation, the what-ifs that make every trade, every signing, and every rumor a potential turning point. And this one, folks, has all the ingredients: talent, hype, controversy, and the possibility of altering the NFL landscape forever. Whether you're a lifelong Commanders fan, a Devin Lloyd supporter, or just someone who loves the intrigue of the NFL, this story is about to dominate headlines, social media feeds, and dinner table conversations across the country. The rumor mill is hot, the trade talks are swirling, and one thing is clear. If Devin Lloyd does end up in Washington, the NFL world will be watching, buzzing, and talking about it for years to come. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.